Two saucer-shaped crafts, glowing amber lights, a silent hover above an oil rig off the coast of Mexico, and then gone. But this isn't just a UFO sighting, it's part of a deeper belief held by locals that a secret underwater alien base protects the region from disaster. This is the 2023 Tampico encounter, and yeah, it's weird. So let's get to it. Welcome to another episode of Mostly True Alien Stories.
They're coming.
UFO sightings. Many Americans have wondered about the dangers of unknown objects.
Scientists in Mexico pulling back the curtain. We need to save ourselves.
Welcome back to Mostly True Alien Stories, where we lay out some of the most fascinating reported alien encounters in history and figure out if they're mostly true or not. I'm Neal Girandola, and I'm here with my co-host, Andrew Triana. What's up, man?
Hey, Neal, not much, man. It's a beautiful day here today, so I'm excited.
You know, today we're going to go to Mexico. I know you like Mexico.
Oh my God, I love Mexico. I love it, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, I didn't need a monologue about Mexico. Today we're going to Mexico, October 2023, when crew members on an oil platform off the coast of Tampico saw not one, but two UFOs hovering above the rig. We've got photos, multiple witnesses, and some very specific local beliefs to take this story to another level. So here's how this works. If you're new to this show, I'll lay out the full account exactly as it was reported. Then Andrew and I are going to break it down, and we'll decide, does this one belong in the Mostly True file? And of course, we want to hear what you guys think. So drop your take in the comments and make sure to follow or subscribe so you don't miss the next one. All right, let's get into it. The Tampico oil rig encounter. It was October 2023. It took place offshore near Tampico, Mexico, this incident. The witnesses are unnamed in this, but so I'm just going to read the report as it was documented. In October 2023, crew members aboard an oil rig near Tampico, Mexico, captured images of two unidentified flying objects hovering above their platform. One photograph depicts a saucer-shaped craft with glowing amber lights encircling its base, while another shows three illuminated dots forming a triangular pattern in the sky. The crew reported that the objects hovered silently for approximately 10 minutes before abruptly ascending and disappearing from view. Now, these sightings occurred in a region where locals believe in the existence of an underwater alien base known as Amupac, thought to protect the area from natural disasters. All right, so before we dive further into what those oil rig guys saw, I want to break down the backstory a little bit that makes this sighting way more interesting. This region of Mexico, specifically the coastal city of Tampico, has long been home to a pretty wild local legend. And people there believe that just off the coast, under the Gulf of Mexico, there's an underwater alien base called Amupac. Locals say this base has been there since the 60s. And here's the part that's kind of weird. They believe the aliens in Amupac protect the city from natural disasters, especially hurricanes. And since 1967, Tampico has somehow avoided any major hurricane directly hitting the city, even though nearby regions have been devastated multiple times. I mean, maybe coincidence, right?
Could be.
I don't know. Maybe something
Could be.
else. But yeah, this belief runs so deep that the locals have built shrines and murals honoring the so-called Space Brothers of Amupac. Even the mayor has publicly acknowledged the legend, calling the aliens Guardians. When these recent oil rig sightings went public, the amber-lit saucers hovering silently off the coast, it reignited local belief that Amupac is still active and that these ships were either patrolling or rising from that hidden base offshore. All right, that's the report. I'm going to hand it over to you, Andrew, see if you can fill anything in, and then let's dive in to decide whether we think this is a mostly true alien story or just a legend.
All right, so it's interesting that it's happening in this area. As you mentioned, since 1967, they haven't had any natural disasters. And according to the legend, they published an article in the local paper called El Sol del Tampico.
I love your accent.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Platillos voladores sobre Tampico. Or
bring it home, brother.
flying saucers over Tampico. The article reported numerous sightings on unidentified flying objects or UFOs witnessed by thousands of inhabitants. So what's interesting is that there are thousands of people in this area that, I mean, it's apparently I went to look at pictures of the area. They have like pictures of like little guardians with their hands up and like that they're the protectors. It's
So
kind
they're
of,
really believing in this. They're really buying
no,
into
there's
this.
no,
Right.
there is
Yeah.
no doubt. I mean, if you went to Tampico and you told them, I don't believe, I don't know what they would do to you. They might put you in a donkey show. I don't know. Possibly.
Mm.
Or not.
Put you in the donkey show. You're in the
For
donkey
lying.
show. Yeah.
For lying,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. You never know. You just
Yeah.
don't know what they're going to do to you. But it's fascinating that, I mean, this town has completely embraced it. And there was apparently a tropical storm that was heading their way in the early 2000s that just dissipated. Never struck shore.
Why do you think the aliens would protect that part, that region like that so
It's
much?
beautiful. The beaches are nice. The area is really
That's where they like to vacation there.
well. It's a vacation. It is a vacation spot. I know the lizard people actually go there. They love the beach. They love
do.
it so much. The Greys go there. Tampico is known for their sunscreen. They make an amazing sunscreen out of coconut oil and mango.
It's a hot spot for all alien species. It's a hot
Yeah.
spot. They like that.
So
That's their
it's
spring
really-
break.
It's spring break with the Greys. I
Mhm.
love it. I love it. So, okay.
There's
the
not a
air-
lot to this story and this
No, there's
one. I
not
just
a
want
lot.
to say to our listeners,
There's-
but
right.
but the pictures that we saw, the pictures that are out there are pretty freaking impressive of the ships hovering over the rig.
Yeah.
And the what's really cool about this is that it ties into this legend of Amupac, right? So
Right.
how
So
do we dive into this and dissect it to say is it
Okay.
true or not?
All right. So the images, just as some info that I found, the images were taken in October 2023 by an oil rigger known as Pat.
Oh, you found a name. You found a name.
Yep, I found a name. Known as Pat, who received them from a colleague stationed in Tampico.
Wait.
Pat-
So Pat didn't take the pictures.
This is what's so confusing with this article. And this is from the Science Times. This isn't like the Sun or something like that. But according to the Science Times, an oil rigger known as Pat, who received them from a colleague stationed in Tampico, Pat relayed the account of the sighting, explaining that the unidentified aerial phenomenon appeared while the oil rig's support legs were being lowered into the sea. According to Pat, the saucer-shaped object captured in one of the images appeared to hover above the rig, illuminated with several lights encircling the base.
It was several minutes though, right? It was like
10
11
minutes.
minutes.
No, yeah, it was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Another photograph revealed a triangular craft with 3 lights positioned at its base.
Yeah.
So there was 2 ships, 2 completely different ships. Now,
But that was like over a 3-day period too, right? So
yeah.
okay.
So what's fascinating is it's prompting speculation that it might be the fabled SR-91 Aurora, rumored to have been developed by the United States government in the 1980s. The triangular craft design resembling the alleged SR-91 Aurora has sparked intrigue amongst people and UFO followers. Pat encountered locals who also have strong beliefs about the underwater alien base named Amupac.
Yeah. So this is that. I love this. I didn't know this information. So it could be government ship, could be a technology by our own government, and maybe they have a base over there of some sorts.
So the belief in the extraterrestrials protecting this area has been over 50 years.
Well, let's talk about this. So let's just say if the government had something, they were keeping technology in that part of the world. Why would they be over there? I get being in the ocean.
Well,
why surface and show yourself above an oil rig?
Right. Well, we had reported that, remember when we talked about that underwater craft that that Navy admiral had witnessed that was the length of 2 football fields that was moving at subspeed? We think about the Phoenix Lights and the size of that ship. And now they're talking about this triangular, which was Phoenix Lights, a triangular ship with all those lights a triangular ship known as the SR-1 Aurora.
Are there any? Did we look this up? Let me look this up. Are there any bases over by Tampico?
I think there might be.
There are no U.S. Army or Navy bases near Tampico. The Mexican military maintains naval bases in the region. I can't imagine that they're holding alien tech.
Maybe they're working with the U.S. on this.
The Mexican Navy operates in the Gulf of Mexico. They have naval zones, including one in the region around Tampico.
Dude, if it's a ship, they can fly down there. I mean, Texas is right there. You know, they can fly, and we know there's tons of Air Force bases in Texas. We know that already. I think the thing that I found fascinating with this whole story is the year is what? 2023. So that's 2 years ago.
But what was the last? What was the last sighting in that area?
That I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
when the last sighting was in that area.
I'll
I'm
look
just
it up.
going off of thinking about 2023. Cell phones were pretty good in 2023, right? Photograph wise. These were actually, there's only 2 photos of this thing. That's all that's ever appeared. Why only 2 photos? I mean, and the guys on the rig.
That's a good point.
If you've got your cell phone, I mean, you can take a pretty good shot. It looked like it was a clear night. Doesn't look like there was anything obstructing anything in their view. So what I love about this story, though, is the sightings that have happened in that area, the belief in that area. That's what I love about this. And then all of a sudden, these 2 ships appear. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
that is cool. And you're right about I mean, you only took 2 pictures and they weren't really good. You know, it's interesting.
No.
I'm looking up what was the last UFO sighting prior to 2023 in Tampico. And they're saying that the National UFO Reporting Center, actually a report from Tampico, occurred on February 13th, 2025.
Whoa.
At 2:50 local time, so obviously 2 years after this one, and this sighting involved a red cylindrical object observed for 2 minutes by one observer.
Oh, that's cool.
Located about 1,000 meters east of the reported location.
Okay.
So that was so prior to that, prior to 2023, they don't have any, there's no, New Fork doesn't have that report. So I don't know if anybody else has something. It's interesting that this legend has been built up so much that, you know, they almost honor it like, you know, like godlike, you know, but I haven't heard many reportings or sightings or encounters in that area.
Yeah, there's been no abductions in that area. So
none of that, but not even like you think we get multiple reports of sightings of these ships if that is truly a.
But if they're underwater, people probably just brush them off, right? If they're really moving underwater, because remember, this is an underwater alien base, so they're hanging out down there, and they're saying that they've been there for longer than 1967. They've just decided to like appear in 1967.
Could this possibly be a government base?
I think so. If it's really there, I mean, they believe it's there. I mean, if you go out to the Midwest, I mean, if you go out to the West, you know, with the legends of Bigfoot and stuff, I mean, there's so many towns there that like, we saw Bigfoot, he was there, you know. So
and then that legend just grows.
Yeah, and then people tell, you know, great grandpa told grandma, and then, you know, the legend just keeps building and building. Now I found some other stuff on this thing, you know, because I had to dig in for this.
I'm glad. Let's go. What do you got?
Let's go. So a few things jumped out at me. It seems weird that the craft would just be hanging around for like 10 minutes and there's only 2 photos that are very low quality photos. I mean, in the AIDS, like I was talking about earlier,
on an oil rig, there's probably a couple hundred guys working.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's bound to have a good phone, you know?
Yeah. But you think there'd be a couple, at least 100 different pictures.
Right. So what's interesting too is that the images were blocked somewhat weird, the way that they were shot, right? And why they were zoomed so far back from actually like trying to zoom in on the picture on the ship itself. So looking at this, and then there's weird things because they've scanned these photos, right? And in each corner of each photo, there's a huge smudge, which is really weird. I think what's fascinating too is that if this is a proprietary ship, right? A governmental ship, why would they be flying around there? You had said that earlier, like Why that area? Are they doing it to keep the legend going? Are they doing that to help increase this thought process of, oh my gosh, let's go to Tampico, because they believe that there's an underground city there under the water. Let's
Well,
fly our ship there.
it's definitely something that could lean towards increasing tourism for sure. I think that you want to do that, but that's some deep state tourism branding,
Yeah,
to
I don't.
come
That's. I
up
mean,
with.
that's. Yeah, come on. I mean, when you hear about Mexico, do you ever hear, "Let's go to
Oh,
Tampico"?
got to go there and see the alien underground base and underwater base. And you know
So
what? There's probably like you could get in and they probably sell like tours, and they get in this little mini submarine
Yeah.
and they go down, and then there's the alien base right over there. And they got this thing going like this in the water.
right. I actually I went.
Oh, you were there. You
I was
went
there,
to
yeah, and I
Tampico.
got you a T-shirt that says Andrew went to Tampico, and all I got was this crappy T-shirt. No, I didn't go. That was not true. Now, of course, with this wanting to believe, right? There's also skeptics that
Yeah.
say it's not true.
Okay.
And so some of their stuff is actually pretty interesting. The lights, they're saying that the photos were, and that's the other thing too. There's nobody has come forward to say whether these photos are real or if they've been doctored or anything like that, right? But what's funny is that they're getting all of this idea because of the way the shots were taken. So if you look at the two photographs, it's like you see like a staircase, and then you see the rig, and then you see three lights, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one is a weirder shot where it's kind of obstructed but not obstructed, right? But that's UFO is like right in the center of each shot, which is really weird. So one guy went ahead and like dug into this and said it looks like a ceiling light
Interesting.
with a reflection from a window pane. So they're thinking that these smudges that you're seeing on the side is that this was taken out through a window, right? It was taken through a window. The shot was taken
and then
through
the
a window.
reflection of the light
And the
is in the glass.
reflection is the freaking light in the room.
Okay.
And so this guy
I can see how that could happen.
This guy actually brought up ceiling lights that match exactly
That
what
are
you
on an
see
oil rig?
that you see in the photo. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Now, what's interesting too is that these oil rigs have lights all over the place, right? And I saw an image of one of the lights, and it looked like the circular thing. So if you're looking through a window, it could be.
Well,
It
here's
could
another
be.
too. I mean, sort of to reinforce that, and I'm not making my decision yet, but this is why this guy is anonymous. Could be, right? He's just
Pat?
let's
You mean
just put
Pat?
it out there. I
Pat.
think also, just the whole legend, the local belief of the Amupac, influence. I think people like to ride that, and
they want
add
it,
to
man.
it, and just make this, become continue to come. I think that's easy to do, and it's also one of those things where, just like you brought up, people who spotted Bigfoot, all of a sudden everybody's seeing Bigfoot, or Bigfoot's everywhere. Some people add to the legend. Some people think they see what they see, others. And then, so it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's like our TikTok page just keeps growing and growing and growing, If you haven't checked out our TikTok page, you should go to it. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. Anyway, it was
gratuitous plug. I love it. Shameless. Just, dude, come on, have some pride.
Yeah. So I think being anonymous, linked to this photo, I think it just kind of kills the credibility a bit.
Well, no, it's not anonymous. It's Pat. Pat got it from a buddy.
Yeah, but the buddy is the one who took the picture.
Yeah, the buddy took the picture, but Pat came forward with the photo.
Yeah, but Pat's safe. Pat, you're safe because you're not saying you took the picture or you saw the ship. You just got it from a buddy who took the pictures and was on there. So Pat's safe. Pat can say whatever the fuck Pat wants because Pat is safe.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, we got Pat on the phone?
We got Pat on the phone.
Hey, Pat, this is Neal from Mostly True Alien Stories. We took a look at these photos that you got from a friend of a friend who was on the oil rig and took pictures of the UFO in Tampico. Can you tell us a little bit more about this, Pat?
Yeah, the photo was given to me by my friend Dan. Dan gave me the photo.
Oh, you're telling us his name. It's Dan.
Oh, no. His name is Charlie. Sorry, not
not Dan. No, not Dan.
Yeah, Pat, I don't care. Let me ask you something about the images itself. The lights in it. Some people say that it's actually a reflection through a window that we captured the lighting in your bunk.
No, Charlie took the picture through the window, but there's no lights in there. It was dark. We kept it dark so that we could get a clear shot of the UFO.
And it hovered there for 11 minutes, and you say we. Were you on the oil rig?
Yeah, I work on the rig.
Oh, no. Okay, I didn't know you were on the rig itself. But why didn't
I work there.
Charlie Dan come forward with the pictures himself? Why did it go through you, Pat?
Because we drew straws. I was just sad that they never came down and said hi or took me.
Pat, we got to get back to the show. Thanks for calling in.
You're welcome.
Tell
You're
Dan.
welcome,
Tell
Deal.
Dan we said hello.
Thank you. I'll tell Charlie you said hi.
Okay. All right. This guy, Pat. He's a weirdo. All right. So I'm just looking through my no official investigation was ever done.
No, why?
Right. So there's that. I'm leaning towards the whole advanced military aircraft. I'm not going to buy atmospheric phenomena.
No,
Not for an 11 minutes sitting there. If it were
bright.
actually true.
It's too
yeah.
bright. So, yeah.
Right. And the fact that you said like the SR-91 Aurora, that I lean into that. If it is anything, I mean, I'm just putting out all the facts that we know so far because we don't need to stretch this out anymore. I'm gonna weigh in on. I'm going first. I'm gonna weigh in on this.
What the?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
You know what I do love? I love the legend of Amupac.
Yes.
I love that. I love the whole idea of an underwater alien base, and they protect that region from weather things or whatever. We don't know exactly everything they're protecting them from, but I just love all that stuff. I'm gonna say that this was just a buildup of this legend that people were just feeding it, and I think it was a hoax perpetrated by the people that made the photos. I think they just thought, let's ride this. And let's make it, we can do it this way. They discovered that they could get the reflection of the light. And then I don't even think there was a military craft around. So I think it was just built up just because of the legend. I do hope that there's an alien base underwater there. I do really do, because it's been going for 50 years. And that we have to look further into to find out why. Like what are the sequence of events that just built it up. Yeah. That would be really interesting to look into. And I think that would be something we'll have in one of these episodes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this is not a mostly true alien story. How about yourself?
Okay, so my fascination is really not with the ships. It's really with this underwater alien base, which could be the lost city of Atlantis.
Mexico?
Yeah. Why not? We don't know how large Atlantis is. Think about it. Have you been there?
Yeah. I was just there.
No, not the club down in the
It was fun. We didn't get home till 4 a.m. Oh
my God, it was crazy. There was a slide and drinks.
I wasn't doing anything they handed me. I took.
I was drinking.
So much fun. I love Atlantis.
So it's not that Atlantis. It's the lost city of Atlantis. So maybe that is another lost underwater city that we don't know about. And the legends have survived. It might have been there centuries ago. Maybe it was discovered and Tampico is keeping it a secret. Don't know. I think the lights in the sky, I agree with you. I think they're fabricated photos. I think it's a reflection from one of the ceiling lights inside the thing and with the window, because I found these photos that were, you see it and you can actually see the window through the lens of the camera.
And you see a little exit sign.
They blurred it out. They scratched
fire extinguisher.
It said enter here, I think is what it said. I think that the circular one is definitely a hoax. The triangular one could be the Aurora. It could be the ship that we've been saying that the US government has had since the 1980s, possibly. Or it's another light because it's a different shot, it's a different angle. Only two pictures. Come on, the thing sat there for 10 minutes. 10 freaking minutes and you got two photos?
Yeah.
What, everybody's battery on their phone was dead?
So what
Can
are
I
you
borrow
saying?
your phone? No, I'm sorry, my battery's dead.
No, damn it, hurry up. It's been here for 50 minutes.
I gotta take a picture. Hurry.
Yeah. What do you think then?
I'm gonna say no. It's not a mostly true alien story. And I just think about, why does everything that is unidentified in the sky have to be alien? Why can't it just be something else? I don't understand. Is it we want it that badly? We really want it to be an alien?
Again, you're forgetting the region. There's the legend of the underwater alien base. So they're
right.
they see anything weird in that area, they're going to go alien. That's alien. That's alien. That's our underwater alien base. All right. So we've got a documented sighting. We've got photos that are compelling and a regional legend that refuses to go away. I'm saying it's not a mostly true alien story, and so is Andrew. And that's one of the very few times we've agreed on episodes. So there's been a handful of our 17 episodes. All right, so we want to know what you guys think, so make sure you tell us in the comments, is this mostly true or mostly something else? And if you have any other information about this encounter that we didn't discuss, please let us know that as well. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share our show. And if you haven't already, check out our Alien News and Entertainment edition that comes out every Friday at 10 a.m. It's the latest headlines on the alien news in under 8 minutes. All right, we'll be back next week with another story that toes the line between documented reality and just enough mystery to keep you up at night, maybe keep you up at night. I don't know. I've never been stayed up all night thinking about aliens, but
at Atlantis I did. I stayed up all night at Atlantis.
Yeah, Atlantis. No way it's Atlantis. No way. It's not in Mexico. All right, until then, we'll see you on the next one. Be kind to the aliens when they get here. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
UFO sightings. Many Americans have wondered about our dangers of unknown